Hello everyone and welcome back to Pepple's Potager. Today is May 26, 2020, and I just wanted to give everybody a quick update of what's going on. And as you can see here, my tomato plants are doing very well. I've up-potted the tomato plants into some larger 6-inch pots about a week and a half ago, and you can see they've really taken off. I added some Job's fertilizer in there, and they are just growing really fast. And they're already hardened off. I spent the last week or so hardening them off, and so they are ready for full sun. And these right here are the Brandywine red tomatoes, and you can tell because they have the large potato leaves. And then you move down here, you can see the difference in the leaves. These are the Cherokee purples here, and these are the very broad leaf, potato leafed Brandywine reds. And then moving on down here, I do have some Black Pearl tomatoes. These are a cherry tomato, and also some Atlas tomatoes that come from Burpee. They are container tomatoes. They are determinate tomatoes, and when I get a chance to make up some containers, I'm going to go ahead and plant some of those in there. But let's go ahead. We'll go out here. Before we go out the greenhouse, I do have some peppers down here growing, and all of them germinated except for the purple heirloom peppers that I tried to grow. I actually saved some pepper seeds from some purple heirloom peppers, and none of them actually germinated. All my hybrid lightning peppers and California wonder peppers germinated just fine, but the ones I saved did not. So I don't know much about saving seeds. Maybe I saved them at the wrong time. I'm not really sure, but if anybody can tell me why that is, that'd be nice to know. But let's go ahead and walk out here and check out the rest of the garden. And in this first bed here, I planted some squash and zucchini, and as you can see, I only got 1 or 2 plants growing up, and that's because I planted these early, and we had a frost probably the second week of May, and so not all of the seeds germinated, only a few did. So I think the cold weather kept a lot of them from germinating, and then probably the following week when they finally did germinate, only a few of them came up, and that's what I have now. I did replant a few seeds in here, and as you can see, I do have some wire fencing over top of these, and the reason is I do have some rabbits and some squirrels around that sometimes jump in and dig around the beds, and sometimes they'll dig up the seedlings. So I leave these over them till they get big enough to where the critters don't bother the plants. And moving on up here, you can see the strawberries are doing quite well. And I did plant some cucumbers in here, and like the zucchini and squash, I planted them a little early. It looks like one did germinate down here, but so I was going to put a small trellis or some sort of upside down tomato cage and grow the cucumbers in here with the strawberries. But we'll wait and see if more of those seeds germinate, and if they don't, I might plant 1 or 2 more. But moving around this way, I have the dwarf cherry tree called Romeo that we planted in a pot a few weeks ago, and as you can see, it's blooming and thriving very well in the pot here. Supposedly this gets up to 8 foot and can produce about 30 pounds of cherries, so can't wait to see how well it does. We might get a few cherries off of it this year, but not that many because it is pretty small right now, but looking good. Here are the Thornless Blackberries, doing quite well over here, all of them in full bloom. Doing very well. We plan on putting some black trellises behind these so we can actually grow the blackberries a little bit higher. I was actually spent a good part of the weekend making some of those trellises out of lattice and 2x4s. So we'll get to that. They're actually laying over here. I'll show you what they look like here. Now, I did plant some beans over here on my bean arbor, like always. Some of them did germinate, and like I said, I planted them a little early as well. Not all of them came up, and I think that's because of the late cold snap that we got there the second week of May. But also got some nasturtiums growing here on the inside of the trellis. See some of those right there. Those are some nasturtiums, and some over here on this side growing. A lot of those have been coming up for the past couple days now. And let's see, we'll go back here and take a look at the trellises. These are, well, the lattice panels that I'm going to put behind the raspberries and over towards the greenhouse there. And I worked on these a good part of the weekend, painted them. We're going to put those right behind those blackberries over there. And these are the Scarlet Spire apple trees, and so far I've seen no signs of apples on these yet, and this is probably the second full year. So they say it can take 2 to 5 years to get apples off of these, but I haven't seen much production out of these as of yet. Over here I do have some radishes growing in the back. I do have some white Russian kale here growing, and some broccoli starting to come up. I did plant some of these a little late, so I don't know how well they'll do. Normally I would probably plant these a lot earlier than that, but this is my first year growing broccoli, so I'm curious to see how well they turn out. I did plant some beets back there. Not a lot of them germinated, but a few of them did. I'm gonna hold off, wait and see how they do. Oh, right here we do have raspberry bush growing right here, back here beside this bed. This is a red raspberry bush. And then we're going to walk on over here to this bed here. We got some lettuce growing. There's some romaine lettuce and some black seeded Simpson over here. I've also planted some Swiss chard in this bed. Some of them are coming up, and some spinach here as well. And this is the Crimson Rocket Peach tree, and I'm really impressed with this year. I have lots and lots of peaches growing on this tree this year. I mean, almost all the way to the top of it there are peaches growing actually on both of these trees. So I am very happy with how it's doing so far. So I hope it continues to do well, and I hope the tree doesn't drop a lot of the fruit, but you can see large amount of peaches growing on these trees. So can't wait to sink my teeth into some of these. I hope they turn out well. And let's go ahead. I got 2 more things to show you up on the patio, and that is the strawberry shortcake raspberry bush and the peach sorbet blueberry bush. Let's go up here and take a look at those. There's part of the woodland garden again, and there's our pond there. We do plan on putting a waterfall there in front of the pond eventually. But you can see a lot of nice woodland plants growing there. You can see a lupine there popping up. A lot of irises, a rhododendron. Looking very, very good. And then up here on the patio is where the peach sorbet blueberry bush is. And as you can see, it's doing quite well. I have quite a few blueberries coming out there. Not ready to pick yet, but can't wait to try some of these. But this bush is doing very, very well. This will be, we planted it in the spring last year, and it's already this tall. So, and last thing I have to show you, the strawberry shortcake raspberry bush, and this gets probably about 4 foot, they say. And you can see we do have some raspberries forming on there, and it's gotten much larger compared to last year. A few more clusters of raspberries over here on the side. And that's all I had for you right now. Hope y'all enjoyed the quick tour there, and thanks for watching, everyone.